So good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this session, we will be discussing about the Indian Express newspaper and we will be talking about 3-4 important articles, and then we will go to the international, and in the end there will be a practice question for you. Okay, so this is the front page of today's newspaper. 18th Lok Sabha begins. So this was the first sitting of the 18th Lok Sabha. You know that when we are talking about the first sittings, there will be this pro tem speaker and who will be going for the administration of the oath of the members of Lok Sabha. So that happened, and this particular thing, or you can say when we are talking about the session, how this Lok Sabha session has begun, etc., this will be covered in our, this has already been covered in news program, so you can go and watch that video. Okay, so I will not be going into this much, and we have talked about the speaker, pro tem speaker already, so that is not necessary as of now. Okay, then moving further, we will be starting with the article that is strife hit Manipur. Okay, first we will talk about the Manipur's issue. The thing is, recently the tribes over there like Kukis, Metis, they have actually said that they want parliamentary intervention. Okay, so we will be talking about that particular article. We will see what is the issue of Manipur, though we have discussed it again and again, but since we are on the topic, I will be discussing that. Okay, then enemy agents ordinance. When we are talking about the area of Jammu and Kashmir, there is a special case, or you can say there is a special law which was there, that was enemy agent ordinance. When article 370 was removed from J&K, there were certain laws which were also repealed. There were certain laws of the state which were kept at that point of time. Okay, so there were certain laws of India which has been extended to Jammu and Kashmir. So one of such law was this enemy agent ordinance. We will see why this particular law is in news and what is this law about. Okay, otherwise also with the name itself, it is quite clear that it is something to do with the some kind of activities which are benefiting your enemies. Okay, then Kerala to Keralam. Okay, so there is this proposal, or you can say resolution by the Kerala. They are basically asking for change in the name, their name, because this is the name in their local language, that is Keralam. Okay, so we'll be talking about that. Then around the world, there will be one article, because there was nothing much to discuss today. Okay, afterwards for your own read there will be some article and then a practice question. Okay, so let's start our discussion with yesterday's question which was given to you. That was related to the Pushpak. ISRO has gone for the third and the last test. Okay, and that test was successful. So we have now RLV, that is reusable launch vehicle, that is ISRO's Pushpak. Okay, now what is the primary feature of ISRO's Pushpak? Reusable launch vehicle, vertical landing capabilities, horizontal landing capabilities, suborbital flight capabilities, and propeller driven landing. Okay, so here if we are talking about the primary feature over here, that is horizontal landing capability. Okay, why? Because the Pushpak is having a shape of an aircraft. Okay, so it will have these wings, etc. So when we are talking about the reusable launch vehicles, they come back to the earth, they actually go for landing on the earth's surface, so that we can reuse them again to send them back in the space. Okay, so what will happen is that once Pushpak comes from the space, or you can say once satellite is sent to the space, afterwards Pushpak will come to the earth's surface and it will be coming like this. Okay, horizontally, and on the runway like an aircraft, it will land on a runway. When we are talking about the other reusable launch vehicles like Falcon 9, etc. of SpaceX, these are having a vertical landing capabilities. Okay, this will have a horizontal landing capabilities. Okay, so that is about Pushpak. Now let's start with the first article of the day, in which we will be talking about the Manipur. Okay, now recently in strife hit Manipur, Methi Kuki groups protest seeking parliamentary interventions. Okay, so that is there. Here you can say widespread protests were held in several districts of the conflict on Manipur amid tight security on Monday. With both Metis and Kuki Zoo outfits seeking parliamentary intervention to end year-long ethnic strife in the states. Okay, this issue of ethnic strife, or this issue of Manipur, has begun 1.5 year has already happened, but still this is there, violence is still there. Okay, so there is no permanent solution. Okay, meanwhile there was this suspension of operation agreements, etc., which has been signed by various outfits with the state and the central government, but again they were not up to mark, or their result was not up to mark. And so recently these communities like Metis and Kukis, they have asked parliament to intervene. Okay, because they are saying that the state has failed. Okay, with respect to this particular thing. Okay, now reconvened for the first session of the 18th Lok Sabha. Since the session has started, and that is why this demand is again resurfaced. Methi women vendors actually has came to the roads and they are starting to protest over here. The outfit was protesting against the cookie zoo demand for separate union territory, concerns over possible security crackdown in the state. Okay, now they have said that if these issues are not going anywhere, then they might, here they have said that people of Manipur would separate themselves from India if government failed to resolve the ongoing crisis as soon as possible. Okay, now obviously you would not want to go for a prolonged violence. Okay, so such sentiments will come if state machinery is failing somewhere. Okay, then they will ask help from the center. So this is what is happening right now. The communities over there, they are asking help from the center, because right now this violence is not ending over here, and because of which these sentiments are basically, you can say, erupting over there. Okay, so now it is in our interest if we go and actually curb this violence over here. Okay, our representatives have failed to raise their voices for the people they are supposed to serve. Okay, so basically they are saying that when we are talking about the people who has been elected over there, they the local people are of this opinion that they have failed to serve them. Okay, now that is why they are asking help from the parliament. Now moving further, if we talk about here, you can say the union territory, what their political demands are, that they are basically asking for a union territory status. Here you can say Kuki Zoo tribes already have the submitted political demands asking a union territory with the legislature under Article 239A. When we are talking about 239A, you know that when we talk about Union Territory of Delhi, it is having a legislative assembly. So similarly on that line, they are asking for a union territory status. Okay, now Kuki Zoo were returned to the state dispensation controlled by the majority, that is Methi. They would be subjected to open hostilities and discrimination and a new age apartheid. That is the concern. Basically there are 2 or 3 communities which are basically having this conflict with each other. Okay, now this is the news right now. What they are saying, that if these concerns are not resolved, then they will be going for a these separatist activities, etc. Second thing is, they are saying that their political demand is that they want a union territory status. Okay, that is second thing. Now what is the issue? The core issue behind it is that when we are talking about the Manipur over here, first I would like to tell you the states which are nearby. When we are talking about the Manipur sharing borders with the states, so it shares border with the Nagaland, and then here you can say it shares border with Assam, then with Mizoram. Okay, so it does not share border with Tripura, remember that. And then when we are talking about the international border, it shares international border with Myanmar. Okay, so that is clear. Now coming to the demography and the map over here, you will see that this particular area over here, that is kind of a dense area. Okay, wherein population is living closely, or you can say the population density over here is very high. Okay, now talking about this particular area, this area is having a lower population density. Now coming to the next map here, it will be easy for you to understand. Now look at this. Now this is a mountain range over here. Okay, the Laimato mountain range, then this Letha range. Okay, so these are the mountains over here. You know that when there are 2 mountains like this, one mountain range, second mountain range, this particular area will be of a valley. Okay, so right now when we are talking about this area, this is basically a valley area. Okay, so this area over here is basically your valley area. Now since we are talking about the mountains over here, you know that living in mountain is quite difficult because the harsh terrain over there. So this area basically, that is basically forest and mountain area, and that is why this is having a harsh geography and the population density over here is very low. Okay, then coming to the valley area here, this valley area is having a high population density. Okay, and since this is a valley area, the terrain is relatively easy, so there are developmental activities which has happened over here. Connectivity is quite good over here. Okay, so that is about the, you can say, geography of Manipur. Now coming to the demography of the Manipur. Okay, now here I told you that the central part over here, that is basically the valley region. Okay, and then the other part is basically your you can say hill. Okay, so that is there. Now coming to when we see this valley region, as I told you, the population density is high. I would tell you that the population what is living over here is nearly 45% of the state's population, but the area is nearly 10%. Okay, the 10% of the state's area is hosting nearly 45% of the population. Coming to this part, this hilly region, here you will see the population is around remaining 55% and the area that is nearly 90%. Okay, so you can say that the population density is very less over here. That is one thing. Second thing is when we are talking about the development in the valley region is very high considering the terrain is easy. Okay, most of the area is well represented. When we are talking about politically, it is well represented area. Okay, and this area is dominated by a community that name is Methi community. When we are talking about this Methi community, this area is dominated by the Methi community, and this community is politically powerful, politically affluent in that particular area. Okay, and that is why this area is quite developed. Okay, that is one thing. Coming to this part over here, here are various communities which are living over here. If we talk about this particular area, Nagas are living over here. Then when we talk about this particular area, this is dominated by Kuki people, and there are other communities which are living over here. Okay, so now the problem is that these Nagas and Kukis and these Methis who are kind of powerful over here, these are having this conflict with each other. These conflicts were related to 2-3 things. One was the ST status. Okay, that is one thing. Second was inner line permit. In the era of Britishers, they had this inner line permit. Okay, that because of which the people from the this valley region cannot go and live to the hill area. Okay, and they cannot purchase land over there, but the people from the hill area, they can purchase land in the valley area. Okay, so that was the issues. These are the issues because of which there is a inherent competition between these tribes over there. Okay, so because of these tribes like Metis, Kukis, Nagas, Zomis, etc., which are living over there, there is this competition, and because of this particular competition, this issue has resurfaced recently. Recently, what happens that High Court has given order to the state government over there regarding the ST status of the Kukis and somewhere related to the Metis. Okay, because of this issue of the ST status, that issue has resurfaced and the current violence was there. Okay, after that there were various incidents of violence which has happened. Okay, and that was in the continuation of that. Okay, now that is about the, you can say, Manipur issue. Now I hope that is clear. What can be the solution? Obviously solution is that now they are asking, since state is not able to cater to the law and order situation over there, so it is imperative that the central government can actually come and intervene over here, because central government has gone with the agreements like suspension of operation agreements with the outfits which are causing troubles over there, but these are not working well. Okay, so they can go for the renegotiations, etc. Then there can be tri-party agreements, etc. Okay, wherein you can go for the help of center with the state and center with the help of each other. They can talk with the other outfits and these communities over there. Okay, other than that, this issue, essentially if you look at this issue, that is the issue of developmental disparity. Developmental disparity means that there is a community which is developed over here, and there are communities which are thriving for the development. Okay, now these communities like Kukis and Jomis, these are actually looking for the development, because these are communities which are living in the hilly areas, and development and the connectivity is very less over there. Okay, so issue is basically of the developmental disparity, so we can actually address that as well. Okay, we can enhance the connectivity over here. Okay, so all these things can be done. That is about the Manipur issues. Now we can move further to the next article. Okay, so what is enemy agent ordinance? Tough law applicable in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, now this law is tougher than the UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act UPA, which is considered to be a stringent law. And when we are talking about the provisions, there are quite difficult provisions with respect to bail, etc. But when we are talking about this enemy agent ordinance, their provision, the provision of this particular law is even more tough than UPA. Okay, so that is there. Now let's talk about this particular law. Now the Jammu and Kashmir Director General of Police DGP R.R. Swain on Sunday said those found assisting the militant in Jammu and Kashmir should be tried by the investigating agencies under the Enemy Agents Ordinance 2005. This is a more stringent than the UPA Act, and it has punishment of either a life term or a death sentence. Okay, so that is why we are saying that is quite tough or the stringent law. Now what is the enemy agent law. As simple as that. Enemy agent, the term which is used over here is that if someone is basically in some way they are trying to help the enemy country or the enemy of the country, then they can be tried under this particular law. Okay. Now here you can say the Jammu and Kashmir Enemy Agent Ordinance was first issued in 1917 by the Dogra ruler over there. Okay. When we are talking about the Dogra rulers, they were the rulers in the Kashmir area, you know, Jammu and Kashmir area, Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir. When we are talking about this particular ordinance, it refers to as ordinance because at that point of time, whenever there was a law which has been passed by the Maharajas, it was called ordinance. Okay. Then according to the ordinance, whosoever is an enemy agent or with an intention to aid the enemy conspire with any other person to any act which is designed or likely to give assistance to the enemy or impede the military or air operations of the Indian forces or to endanger life or is guilty of incendiarism shall be punishable with the death or rigorous imprisonment of life or with rigorous imprisonment for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall liable to be fined. Okay. So there are certain things. One, whosoever is an enemy agent, one is an enemy agent or some kind of you can say spy, etc. Second, or with an intention to aid the enemy to, okay, so you are helping the enemy in some way, that is second thing. Conspire with any other person to act which is designed or likely to you know, give assistance to the enemy. So in any way, if you are conspiring, if you are assisting, if you are you know, spy, in such cases you will be punished under this. Other than that, few things are also added over here, that is impede the military or the air operation of the Indian forces or endanger the life of you can say some person who, from the Indian territory. So these are certain provisions which were there, which are saying that if you are, you know, involved in any of such things, then you will be tried under the J&K Enemy Agent Ordinance. Okay. Now after partition 1947, the law was incorporated as law because earlier it was called as ordinance, later it was known as law. Okay. In 2019, when Article 370 of the Constitution was repealed, so there were certain laws which has been repealed with that. Okay. There were certain laws which has been extended to Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. So these were there. Here you can say that the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act was passed, which listed out state laws that were to continue. Okay. There were certain state laws, they will continue. There will be certain state laws, they will be repealed, and there will be certain laws which will be, you can say, extended from the you can say India to Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. The thing is, earlier you know that there was this Ranbir Code, etc. were there, because of which our IPC was not working over there. Now with that, now the IPC, Indian Penal Code, will be, you know, extended to Jammu and Kashmir with the repeal of Article 370. Okay. So here you can say the Enemy Agent Ordinance and the Public Safety Act remained. Then Ranbir Penal Code, that was RPC earlier in the Jammu and Kashmir, that has been replaced with the Indian Penal Code. Other than that, we have this forest laws, okay, like Forest Act 2006, Scheduled Tribe and other traditional forest dwellers, recognition of Forest Act 2006, and Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. These were the acts which has been extended to Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. Now, how are the trial conducted? When we are talking about this particular act or this particular law under which trials are conducted by a special judge. Okay. A special judge will be appointed for that, and who will appoint the judge? This will be appointed by the government in the consultation with the High Court. Okay. So that special judge will be appointed by the government in consultation with the High Court. Now accused cannot engage a lawyer to defend herself unless permitted by the court. Now this is one thing which is you know, quite you can say exceptional, because in our Indian jurisprudence, if we talk about, most of the time you will say that you will have a fair chance to, you can say, get represented by a lawyer. Okay. But in this particular case, that will not be given until permitted by the court. Okay. So that is there. No provision for the appeal against the verdict, so you cannot go for any kind of appeal. No doubt there can be a review. Okay. There will be a review, but that also will be appointed by a person chosen by the government from the judges of the High Court, and the decision of that person shall be final. So ultimately here government will appoint the judge. Okay. If you want a review of that particular you can say judgment, there is no appeal first of all. Second, if there is a review, that review will also be done by a person who will be appointed by the government from the, you can say, High Court. Okay. Now the ordinance also bar any disclosure or of the or publication of the case related to or any information which is related to the case. Okay, now you cannot disclose any information, okay, and that is there. If you do that, there will be a imprisonment and the fine. Okay, so without permission of the authorization of the government, if you are disclosing any kind of information, then imprisonment of a term which may extend to 2 years with a fine or both. Okay, so that is about this particular you can say enemy agent ordinance or the enemy agent law as of now. Okay, this is a law of 2005. It was first started in 1917 by the Dogra rulers. Then with the repeal, or you can say repeal of Article 370, this particular law was kept. Okay, other than that, the public safety laws and this enemy agent ordinance, these were kept. Other than that, there were certain laws which has been extended. Now this particular paragraph becomes really important for you, that this first. Okay, that is really important for you because there are certain laws which has been discussed over here. Now moving further to the next, that is Keralam. Now Kerala Assembly wants to rename the state as Keralam, the Malayalam word for the state. Okay, so here you will see the Kerala Assembly on Monday has unanimously passed a resolution urging the central government to rename the state as Keralam in the constitution. This is the second time in the past year they have gone for it. Okay, earlier when they have gone for it, there was some technical and the words related issues, and because of which they have reintroduced this particular resolution. Okay, the name of our state in Malayalam is Keralam. However, the name of our state in the first schedule of the constitution is Kerala. Okay, this assembly is unanimously requesting the union government to take immediate steps under Article 3 of the constitution to change the name of the state to Keralam. Now they are asking about talking about Article 3. Okay, when we are talking about Article 3, now it is your duty to go and check what Article 3 is talking about. Okay, so any kind of change in the name, etc., these are basically mentioned in the Article 3. Now moving further, here is the previous resolution sought amendment in the first schedule of the constitution. When we are talking about the first schedule, there are list of states which is given in the first schedule, and also in the 8th schedule wherein the scheduled languages are given. Okay, now because of the wordings and the technical issues, they have actually gone for the reintroduction. Now etymology. Okay, etymology, if we talk about, so the word from where this word Kerala has came from, or Keralam has came from. Okay, so here you will say the earliest mention is found in the Emperor Ashoka's Rock Edict 2. Rock Edict 2 of Ashoka from 257 BC. Okay, where it is written that everywhere in the dominion of the king Priyadarshan is the beloved of God. That is what the name was, name which was, or the title which has been taken by the Ashoka. Okay, so Priyadarshan, beloved of the gods, how Ashoka was addressed, as well as those of the frontier sovereigns. Okay, such as the Cholas, that is basically your Cholas of that time. Okay, Pandyas, Satyaputta and Katlaputta. Okay, Ketalaputta, this is the word which has been used for the Kerala Putta. Okay, so basically Kerala Putras means that the son of the Kerala at that point of time. So that is there. So there are certain things which has been mentioned in the Rock Edict 2 of 251 BC, that is Cholas, that is Cholas, Pandyas, Satyaputra and Ketalaputra. Okay, and the Ketalaputra word was basically for the Kerala Putras. Okay, now Kerala Putras literally son of Kerala in Sanskrit, and that refers to the Cheras. Okay, there when we are talking about the South Indian dynasties at that point of time, there were these Cholas, Cheras, Pandyas. Okay, so this was referred to the Cheras at that point of time. Now this Cheras, if we write it like this, Cheras, okay, and you can write it like Keras. Okay, so similarly the Keram word is, or you can say that that is the word in Kerala that has actually converted into Cheram. Okay, or the Cheram has been with time used as Keram. Okay, which used to refer the coastal lands between Gokarna in Karnataka and Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. When we are talking about our map over here, so you will see that we have Goa somewhere over here, then we have another beach that is in the vicinity of Goa, that is Gokarna. Okay, that Gokarna beach, that is in Karnataka, and from the area of Gokarna till the Kanyakumari, this area was called as basically Cheram or Keram. Okay, so with this word, that is chair or care, that has originated, and the word or the meaning of the word chair is to join. Okay, now statehood. demand, if we talk about, this is static part which you must have studied in the polity, but again we will go through it. Demand for the United Malayalam speaking state. Now again they are also talking about the state on a linguistic basis. Okay, so in 1920s, at that point of time, there was this first, you can say, movement has happened with respect to the demand of United Malayalam speaking state. Okay, that was and aimed at integration of the princely state of Travancore and Cochin and the Malabar district of the Madras Presidency. These were the areas which were Malayalam speaking at that point, and they wanted to unite them together into one princely state. Okay, after independence on July 1st, 1949, two Malayalam speaking princely states were integrated to form a state, that is Travancore Cochin state. Okay, so two Malayalam, out of these Travancore, Cochin, Malabar was not added at that point of time. So Travancore and Cochin was established, state of Travancore and Cochin was established on the July 1st of 1949. Okay, the State Reorganization Commission under the Fazil Ali, they have actually gone for the, here you can see, creating the states on the linguistic lines. Here you can see the commission under Sayyid Fazil Ali recommended the inclusion of the district of Malabar and the taluks of the Kasargod to Malayalam speaking peoples. Okay, now this Malabar they have already asked over here, then the Kasargod area that they have, that was recommended by the Fazil Ali Commission. Okay, then here you can say it also recommended the exclusion of the four southern taluks of the Travancore like Tovala, Agasthiswaram, then Kalkulam and Vilay Konde. So Vilay Kode. So these were the taluks which has to be excluded. That was the recommendation of the Fazal Ali Commission. Okay, so that is about, these were the from the Tamil Nadu's part. Now the state of Kerala as we see it today came into picture on 1st of November 1956. The state of state reorganization bill came in 1956, and with that particular act we have the state of Kerala in our present form. Okay, so recently they are basically asking for the change of the name from Kerala to Keralam, because in Malayalam it is called as Keralam. Now they are saying that the change has to be made in the Article 3 of the Constitution. So Article 3 becomes important for you. Other than that, they have talked about the first schedule wherein the list of states is given, and then they have talked about the you can say Schedule 8 wherein the languages, the list of the scheduled languages is given. Okay, so that is about this particular article. Now we can move further to the next one. Srinagar gets a tag of World Craft City. Now there is nothing much to discuss over here. So just remember that the Srinagar has become the 4th Indian city to be recognized as the World Craft City. Okay, World Craft City. This is the 4th one. First one is Jaipur. Second is Malappuram, third is Mysore, and fourth is your Srinagar. Okay, and when we are talking about the Srinagar, Srinagar became part of your UNESCO's Creative City Network as well. Okay, UNESCO's Creative City Network for crafts and the folk arts. Okay, so that is there. Now it celebrates the rich heritage and the craftsmanship and vibrant art and culture of the beloved Srinagar. So that is there. So this is all you have to remember from this. Now other than that, we can again promote Srinagar as a craft destination. Okay, because when we are talking about certain kind of status or tag which is given, so there are certain benefits which comes with it. Okay, now the Jammu and Kashmir administration has applied for the recognition of the Srinagar as the World Craft City in 2021, together with the recognition as UNESCO's Creative City Network. So in the past year we have got this Creative City Network, and now we have got this World Craft City as well. Okay, so that was applied in 2021. At least 10 different forms of the craftsmanship survive in Srinagar and its suburbs. So that is papier mache, walnut wood carvings, carpets, Sozni embroideries, pashmina, and the Kani shawls. Okay, so this particular last paragraph you can remember, because they can ask you which things are famous from which areas. So that is there. Moving further here, you will see the 10 new critical mineral blocks, fresh incentives are given. Okay, we have talked about lithium yesterday. We have said that there was this particular place in Chhattisgarh or Jharkhand, I don't remember, just please confirm it. Okay, so from where there will be you can say lithium which has to be you can say explored. Okay, now Other than that, there are more critical minerals as well. Okay, critical minerals means that those minerals which are basically important for the, you can say, country's security, not only the defense security, I would also say that economic security or the mineral related, energy related security. Okay, so here you can say raw materials essential for the economic and the national security, and often used in the high tech industries and the renewable energy technologies, etc. We have talked about the electrical vehicle when we are talking about the lithium. Okay, now other than that also there are certain, you can say, critical raw materials which are required, and these critical minerals has to be explored, okay, from the earth, and ministry has come up with the 10 new critical minerals blocks. Okay, now what happens is that first there will be a exploration, and for that exploration of that particular block there will be these bids, okay, or the, you can say, there will be these auctions. Okay, under that auction you will take the block for the exploration, and if in the 3 years or if in a particular stipulated period of time you come up with the, you can say, some concrete results, then another again there will be a fresh bidding, fresh auctions with respect to the mining. Okay, so now you can see that auctions for explorations are different from the auctions for the explorations are different from the auctions of the mining. Okay, so since these are two different things, now a company which is going for the, you can say, putting some money and investment in the exploration, now they are worried that they have to go for bids for the mining or the auction for the mining, and they might get it or they might not get it. Okay, in such cases these companies are very reluctant to go for the explorations. Okay, now government, what they have done is they have given a particular incentives. Government has said that they will be giving you a certain amount of money, okay, 20 crore in the exploration expenses. Okay, so if you are giving the results in the 3 years or within the 3 years, then there will be some additional reimbursement will be there. But as of now, when we are talking about the exploration, government has come up with the incentive of 20 crore to the these you can say companies which are going for the exploration. Now this incentive is given so that companies can go for the exploration. Okay, and further then there will be a fresh auction for the mining. Okay, so that is about this particular article here. There is nothing much to discuss from there, because there are certain things here. They have said that there are total 48 blocks. Earlier 14 were given, 7 were not given, 7 were taken in the second tranche, etc. So these information is not of any importance for us right now. Here you can say the license to further explore the lithium block in Chhattisgarh. Okay, so we have talked about Chhattisgarh, so that has been given in the Chhattisgarh. Okay, then when we are talking about, there are certain countries with which we are having these deals in the lithium. Okay, and there are certain countries which are quite prominent in the production of these or you can say mining of you can say lithium. So you can comment, you can tell me those you can say countries in the comment box, that which are having the largest reserve. First is largest reserve of lithium, second largest producer, and you will tell me that with which country India is dealing with respect to the lithium. Okay, so these are the 3 things you can tell me in the comment box. Okay, now I have already told you about the scheme. The government has gone for the newly announced exploration reimbursement incentives to boost the investors' interest in the critical mining blocks. Exploration license EL holders can claim up to rupees 20 crore in the reimbursement for a key activities such as geophysical investigations, exploratory drillings, chemical and the petrological analysis. So if you are doing these activities in meanwhile for the exploration, then you can go for the claim of a 20 crore rupees for the reimbursements. Okay, so that is about this particular article. The law of the land is that whoever does the exploration, the ultimate mining rights will be given only through a process of auction. Okay, so there will be a separate auction. Therefore, in the exploration license regime, the person can never get the block unless they bid again. Okay, so once you have gone for the exploration, not necessarily you will be getting the mining rights as well until unless you are bidding for that. Okay, so that is there. Now moving further, Iranian public fascinations with the what can be free money amid stubbornly high inflation alerts the officials. So there is this game that is hamster combat. Okay, now that is not important for us. The thing is, there is this tapping which is to be done. Here you can see in this particular mobile phone, you will see that there is some structure over there, and the guy is, or the girl over here is that pressing on it. The thing is, in such games there is this notion that by creating digital currency they will get some amount of money. Now when we are talking about Iran over here, Iran is going through various economic issues right now. You can say inflation is very high. Other than that, there are various economic sanctions. Okay, and because of all these things over here, the people are so desperate that they are going for such activities over phone, and that is basically taking away the attention from the things they should actually have, they should actually care for. Okay, so right now when we are talking about Iran, there are these presidential elections, etc., but the people are not much worried about the elections. They are almost on the phones playing these games, okay, so that they can earn some kind of money in the form of cryptocurrencies. Okay, so here you can say craze over hamsters crypto in pole bound Iran highlights the ailing economy. Okay, here you will see the cab drivers and the bikers tap away furiously on the mobile phones as they wait at the red lights in the Iranian capital during the early June heat waves. Some pedestrians in Tehran are doing the same. They all believe that they could get rich, the object of their rapt attention, and you can say the hamster combat app is the app which is taking they are basically using. So there is a crypto craze which is going on in Iran because these people are having this hope that they will get rich by doing this. Okay, so that is one thing. Second thing over here, that there is this presidential elections to replace the late president Ibrahim Raisi, which died in a crash. Okay, an economy hobbled by the Western sanctions. Okay, so that is second issue. Then stubbornly high inflation and the lack of jobs. These are the issues which Iran is facing right now. Okay, now they are talking about the Bitcoin over here, that because of these this particular apps, they are hoping that they will be generating Bitcoins over here. So piling into this app out of sheer hope it might one day pay off without knowing much about the who is behind it. Okay, now we don't know who is the owner of this particular app. Okay, I'm talking about the people over there. They don't know about the owner. They don't know what is the terms and conditions over here. Okay, whether they will be getting something or not. Okay, the company has said that there is nothing like that. Okay, somewhere. But again, this is something which is happening over there. Collapse of Tehran's 2015 nuclear deal with the world powers. This is the time when we are talking about this nuclear deal was there. That is P5 plus 1. These were the people who were involved in that particular deal. That deal was collapsed, and because of which these economic sanctions were there. And afterwards, that because of the claims that there can be nuclear weapon, they are trying for the nuclear weapon, etc. There are these economic sanctions which has been put on Iran. Okay, here you can say it is nearing 5,80,000 riyals to $1. So that is the status of the currency of Tehran as of now. Okay, now it is the desperate environment that has seen that the public's interest in cryptocurrency and the mobile games offering coins rise. Okay, the hamster combat app is accessed through the messaging app Telegram, which remains popular in Iran despite efforts by the authorities trying to block access to it. Incremental or the clicker game users rapidly click on the object or complete the task to earn certain points. In hamster combat, users believe they may be able to access purported cryptocurrency associated with the game that is still not traded publicly. So basically what they are doing is they are having this hope that they will be getting cryptocurrency out of it, and ultimately that is not even authorized over there yet. Okay, so that is about the issue which is there. Now Iranian authorities are saying that can be a propaganda which has been, you can say, run by the Western allies. Okay, and similar incidents has happened in the, you can say, other countries as well. Okay, so when we are talking about Iran isn't alone. When we are talking about Ukraine over here, so that has happened over there as well. Other than that, when we are talking about such things, there are chances that the malwares can be used. Okay, cyber attacks can be done through the phones, etc. So these are the concerns which has been happening in the Iran right now. Why I have taken this article? Because they can ask you some kind of terminology, or they can simply ask you what is hamster combat, okay, which has been in the news. Also, please remember that. Now moving further, For your own reads, there is this 2 article. One is pre-budget consultations. You know that the full budget is just to be put forward by the government in the parliament. So they are going for the pre-budget consultations. Okay, so there are certain you can say welfare state, or you can say welfare schemes they have actually talked about. So you can go through this article if you are you know, having time. Other than that, who is preparing for the mains in the power market or the power sector, if you want to have any kind of data or any kind of understanding with respect to the power markets, you can go through this particular article. Okay. Now, last part of the day, that is basically your practice question. Which of the following state does not have a boundary with Manipur? Tripura, Nagaland, Mizoram, Assam. We have already discussed this, so you can attempt this question and answer in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave, and if you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe it. Have a nice day. Thank you.